It is Donkey Kong Lessons Day! I am going to attempt to teach Donkey Kong. I don't claim to be an expert in Donkey Kong. I don't claim to be a good player, but I do know my way around the character, and I feel like I know my way around the game. I don't think I'm a full casual scrub, but I'm not a pro either. Let's just throw that out there. There are better guides out there, more than likely. But for those of you interested, for more one-on-one, I think of me as the DKTA, okay? I'm the teacher's assistant to like the pro maybe, okay? I know my way around. The mods are back, so we'll be able to play mods today finally. And boy, do I have some good DK mods. So what I want everyone to do right now, take out your Switch, if you have one. Open up training mode, so you guys can follow along. Let's talk about Donkey Kong. What are your settings, DK Master? That's a great question, and that's a great place to start. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. So these are the settings that I like, and it's by no means like the right way to do it. I think everyone has different. I use GameCube controller. I think Pro Controller is largely the same. In fact, Pro Controller is nice because it has an additional shoulder button, which could actually help with some unique DK tech, which I can't do because I don't have enough buttons. Aside from that, I personally like to have tap jump off. Actually don't know why this is on. This is usually off for me. And also the rumble. Usually it's like this. Interesting, I've been nerfed. I have stick sensitivity to high. I think that's a personal preference, but I actually think it makes a difference. The things I've changed. I changed my right trigger to jump. Now, it doesn't have to be the right trigger. It could also be the left trigger. I think it's whatever you like to shield with. Just keep that shield button. Other shoulder button, if you don't need both for shield, should be your jump button, and that's important for something called attack cancel bears. I don't think I changed any of this, and I have tilt stick for my C stick. This is also necessary if you want to do the attack cancel, back air, RAR, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so now with those buttons in mind, let's talk about Donkey Kong as a whole. Donkey Kong is a grappler, he's a heavy, he's C tier. He's not a great character in the game, and I think it's actually important to understand that going into playing Donkey Kong, because you're gonna have a few uphill battles, but if you have that mentality, it'll significantly help a lot of your interactions. Because, for example, if you're playing against a Mario, a Luigi, a Game & Watch, a Rob, there's so many characters. Any character with combo potential, you're basically in your head, I'm starting the stock with 80%. You can't get tilted. If you get tilted and you're like, man, I can't do anything, I'm getting juggled, it's already over. It's already over, you know, with taking a lot of damage. And it's okay, because at the end of the day, right, DK is very heavy, so he will be able to survive a lot. He's very large bodied, so he will get hit by a lot of things. He has a pretty bad recovery. And yes, there are certain things like Byleth, up B, infinite, or not, no, 0 to death stuff, or yeah, so you will be subject to combo food, and part of playing DK is learning how to get out of disadvantage. DK is really good in advantage state, really bad in disadvantage state. Meaning he's a high risk, high reward character, and that's what I love. That's what I really like about him. You can blow people up from 0 to death, and sometimes you'll just be juggled for the entire stock. That's the art of DK. And there are some tricks that I have for getting out of disadvantage state. But again, I'm gonna start by talking about all the moves and some of their properties. So now that we have the overarching picture of DK as a character, let's get into his moves, okay? So, jab. I don't know all the frame data stuff, okay? I'm just gonna speak purely from experience. Jab is okay. I think jab is okay. It's honestly, in my opinion, one of his better out of shield options. Or like, if you don't know what to do and you're in front of someone, it is faster than F tilt, it's faster than down, well, down tilt, maybe it's probably similar to down tilt. It's probably better to go for down tilt. Jab 1 will jab lock. Well, not like that, but it will jab lock, so that's something that you can do. Let's talk about his tilts. Down tilt is fantastic. It has pretty decent range. It also has a chance to trip. I don't know what the chance is. All right, that's 1 in 5. I know it's better than that. There we go. I feel like it's 1 in 3. I don't actually know the statistic. This is me being a bad teacher. But down tilt does have a chance to trip. If you react to the trip, you could go for a grab. You could go for a grab, right? You could also go for a down B, which is probably a little safer. Sometimes I just go for a down tilt and I'm too lazy to react. I just go straight for a down B. If they start shielding, you could do a lot of shield poke damage with the down B, stuff like that. F tilt is a really good kind of like zoning tool. Get away from me. It's also your go-to tool for ledge guarding and two framing. If you angle the forward tilt, you sometimes are able to knock people from grabbing the ledge. So it's something that's good to go for. Up tilt, I actually really like up tilt. They kind of nerfed it from previous game, Smash 4, but it's still really good. It's a really good anti-air tool. It unfortunately doesn't really combo into anything anymore. It used to combo into itself, into up air and stuff like that, but it's still a really good get off me tool. On every stage with a platform, it does cover the platform. If you position perfectly under, you can get people under the platform. It does hit from behind as well. It also hits from the front. It's a pretty good move. You could essentially force people into like a 50-50. They do this, right? And then sometimes if you catch an air dodge, but then you could also condition them to not air dodge, whatever, stuff like that. Okay, so those are the tilts. Let's do dash attack. Dash attack, fantastic. So this dash attack is gonna be a great combo starter. Now, if you're a scrub DK, you will spam this move and you'll get punished. It's really easy to punish. It's really easy to shield grab. So again, one of those high risk, high reward moves. So you want to be careful about using that too much. But if you do land one, sometimes you can net into a kill. I can't, dude. You could go into the offstage bear plane where you could just take them off to the side and they die if you could land a late hit dash attack. So you could hit it with the strong hit, it could still combo. You could also hit it with the end of it, and you could go into things like a grab sometimes. Like that. So it's also great at covering roll. It's great at covering get up options, stuff like that. It's a fantastic move. It's, in my opinion, one of the better dash attacks in the game. Let's talk about smashes. Forward smash, the clap. It's just like I think it's just like a normal up smash, you know? It's pretty strong, but it has like some startup, it has some end lag. That's how much end lag it has. I'm holding shield. Same with down smash. It's like a pretty standard all around down smash. Covers both sides. Some startup, some end lag. It's not great, it's not amazing. It's not bad though. Up smash, same thing. Up smash you could combo into, right? You see a lot of people doing like, I don't do this enough, but you could do this, right? Like it could combo out of aerial down B. Oh, there you go, something like that, something to that effect. Could talk about specials and then aerials. Aerials I'll cover last. DK punch, really good move, really good move. Whenever you're not doing anything, you should be charging punch, unless you have it, of course, obviously. But you should always be trying to pressure. So with DK is one of those characters where because he has a charge move, you don't necessarily need to approach. You can force people to approach onto you just by charging, because then you threaten the punch, right? I forgot what it's called, but you could basically cancel your punch charge by light tapping your shield like that, as opposed to holding shield like that. Charge canceling. Yes, it's called charge canceling. These aren't good lessons, are they? Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. While you're charging, you could also jump out of charge. You could also full shield out of charge. You could also press B to let out a half charge, which isn't sometimes a half. It's not a great option to do, because most people will probably shield it or not get hit. An uncharged punch is also a lot slower than a full charge punch. So that's an uncharged punch. Full charge, well, it's not. I don't know if it's a lot slower. It feels a lot slower at least. You could B reverse it. You could wave bounce it, which I'm not great at. Yeah, so you could do a lot with it, and it's. In the past games, you would die if you punched off stage. Here, you could, oops. You could run off, punch, and still make it back. So you could do a lot with this punch, and it kills, and it's really strong. It kills people really early. I think for Paladin, it'd probably kill like most of the time, like 70-80%, something like that. It does an absurd amount of knockback and does like about 30 to 40% damage. Giant Punch has super armor at the startup frames. Actually, most of my my specials have startup, meaning if Paladin is attacking me and I get hit during the initial frames of the punch, I will just pump right through it, and then it'll turn into a trade hit. So let's talk about side B. Side B is pretty good. I think it's not something to be spammed, but if you can catch someone with it, it can close a stock very easily. It also has immense shield pressure. It does immense shield damage. You're just gonna have to trust me for it. The range is also surprising. Do you guys see that? If I side B from here, it'll probably hit. This to me is the most surprising hitbox. It will catch people off guard. Let's see, this will hit. So surprising. Early percents, people will mash out faster. You could read it with an up air or something like that. Mid to high percents, it's usually good unless you know they're really good at mashing. It's probably safe to go for an F smash or a Kong punch, something like that. I mean, the most common thing that people do is side B into punch, right? So that percentage she probably should have been able to mash out of, but any higher than that, like 50 to 60, you probably could safely do a Kong punch. It's the same in the air as it is in the ground. Break shield if they have less than 80%. Yep, that is true. That is true. Let's talk about down B. Down B, I think, is very underrated. I think it's very underrated. I don't see a lot of people using it, and if they use it poorly. The thing is, the range is quite good. Look at that range. Of course, they do have to be grounded, so this applies more so to people that are shielding more. It's a great option against people that shield a lot. So it's a quite a large range. It also hits behind, right? So it's not just in front. It also hits behind. So in that sense, it's a great tech chase option. If you run up to someone and then you hold shield, you could react and just do this. Probably cover, especially if they're on the side of the stage. They can't get away with the roll away. If they roll in, they're gonna get hit. If they get up attack, then you'll just punish because you're in shield. If they do a normal get up, they'll get hit, right? So it's really good in that front. Against characters like Luigi and Kazuya, it's a fantastic option because they love to stay grounded. Same with Little Mac. They hate it. They absolutely hate it. They force a jump, then you could do an up tilt, you could do a back air. So you could force a lot of options for people that are very grounded by using grounded down B. Like I said, sometimes I just like to down tilt into down B. That's like a more sure way. Even if it doesn't trip, a lot of times it lands because people aren't paying attention, or they'll shield. And the thing is, this is probably DK's second or third highest shield stun move. You can break a lot of people's shield with this, especially if you're someone like Yoshi. So most of the time though, it will shield poke the character because the shield will get too small and it'll hit their legs. But sometimes they accidentally tilt their shield down, or for one reason or another, you can break people's shield with it. And it does a lot of shield damage. Down B in the air completely chains. It's a completely different move. So no longer does it do this like large AoE, but it's also a really good move in the air. We already talked about it a little bit, but you could combo into it, especially if they're higher percent. Bad demo. You could combo into up smash. It's also really good at ledge guarding in some situations. I've been trying to work on this, but there we go. Like B reversing it can be a really good ledge guard option. I need to work on that. And so the reason I actually like down B the most is because it's a great movement tool. You can B reverse it. You could also wave bounce it. But yeah, I've been trying to practice this a lot because the thing with DK is in a disadvantaged state, you need more movement tools to be able to get out of those situations. This is one of them. You could easily bait people into different situations and just completely reverse it with a down B. Because your only other option, because you can't really B reverse your side B, the only other option is with punch, and you're not always gonna have punch, so it's gonna be a good tool for you nonetheless. The nice thing about trying to spike with down B is that there's 2 hits, and it's very forgiving, it's very large, it's very meaty, so it should be able to catch a lot of options without necessarily needing to time it too precisely. It's really good for like moving around and finagling. Like on platforms, I've been working on like doing stuff like this. Nope, that's not it. Like that, just to mix up my options. The timing is tight, but it's very handy. Especially, like I said, if you're in the air and you need to get down, you could trick people because you completely momentum shift and they're going to try to punish you in the wrong direction. Let's talk about up B. Aerial up B, trash recovery. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's definitely not at all the best. There are so many characters these days with great recoveries, and compared to those, this is not great. Really good horizontal coverage, but very, very, very vulnerable from above and below, especially above. A lot of spikes will hit you. A lot of downward spikes, like Mega Man down air, right? Or like really just any spike. If you are predictable with your up B, you will die. And so part of the trick about recovering with up B is being unpredictable. You do linger in the air quite a bit, so you can stall and then go, right? A lot of times I also do this kind of thing while I go in. Oh, that's not it. Stuff like that. You could also intentionally B reverse your up B so that you could stall. That's not it. Yeah, but it's just not a great move. Grounded up B is actually very strong as a move, but it's also not something you should reliably go for. You could do it as a Hail Mary, as I do sometimes. It will kill people at kill percent. You could kill people from center stage sometimes because you could drag them off to the side. In lower percents, if you land the up air, or if you land the up B in lower percents, you want to hold backwards. I'm holding backwards right now because I don't want to edge forward to them. If they're low enough percent and you up B and you go with them, they will be close enough to be able to punish you because the end lag is really high. I don't know if that makes sense to people. So if I'm holding in like this, the Palutena probably can jump out and punish me because I'm close enough. So you always want to hold backwards like that, and they will get launched further, and therefore you are far enough that they won't be able to punish you, usually. If they are higher percent, you want to hold towards the as far out as you can so that you can get to the side of the stage, potentially launch them out of the blast zone and kill them. It's great at catching people that like to spot dodge, so is down B. And yeah, you can't really use it out of shield. You can kind of use it out of shield, but it's not really true or anything either. Well, it's a high risk, high reward move. So if you are in like a last hit, last stock scenario and you throw it out and you miss, you're dead. It's so punishable. But if people drop shield for even a second, they will get hit. So that's the up B, grounded up B. Let's talk about aerials. 5 aerials, like with most characters. We got the neutral air. Neutral air it's decent. It doesn't have amazing range, but it's meaty. It covers both sides. You could technically jab block with it, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's an okay move. I go for it sometimes, but it's not my go-to option. You don't really want to approach with it because the range is not great. Forward air is probably the move that a lot of DK, like newer DK players will use because it's easier to do forward air than back air, but we'll talk about back air. Forward air is not great. It's not bad. It has some utility, but it's definitely not... It's probably his worst aerial. Maybe, I don't know. It's probably tied with his down air. Both moves are like, they're okay, but they're not amazing. There are a lot of better options out there for DK. If you get the sweet spot, not the initial hit, but anything from sort of like the, if we're doing this move, from the 9 o'clock to like the 6 o'clock position, that will all spike for sure. Like, see, that's a spike hitbox, that's a spike hitbox, right? You could also do it on a grounded opponent, and usually it'll combo into most aerials. That's not a spike hitbox. Down air. Down air is just a spike. It is what it is. You could drop zone with it and still make it back. Okay, wait, let me try it again. Well, you could definitely run off forward air and still get back. So this could be an option to go back to the forward air. Yeah, so I just timed it wrong. So you should be able to drop zone it. Kind of. It's not really a drop zone. It's a pretty large hitbox. You can spike people through the ledge if you time it right. If you see that, the hitbox goes below the ledge right there. If someone's charging a down smash right here, you could just do that and then get like a good punish out of that too. Up air is fantastic. This is a great sharking tool. I'm pretty sure you like become slightly intangible too. I can't actually remember the exact properties. It's a great anti-air option. It combos out of the ding dong, obviously, which we'll talk about later. You could do a landing up air. You could do a rising up air. Up air is great. It's like top 2 best aerials for DK at least. And then there's the back air, my favorite move. I saved it best for last. This thing is incredible. I think it's DK's best move. I love it to death. It's why my fan art is of DK back air. It combos into itself, it kills, it's a great ledge guard. It basically turns into a weird disjoint and just slap people out of existence. Look with this purple filter on. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's a great move. And this is the main thing if you want to approach with an aerial, that's the one you want to approach with. So that's why for DK, the learning curve for DK is that most people want to approach with this. No, you want to approach with this. It's better range, it combos into itself. I think you could do 4. No, 3? I mean, you could technically, yeah, you could do 4. You could do 4 before you land. Isn't that crazy? It's a great move. It's a great move. I love it. You could combo out of it with back air, with dash attack and things like that. And so this is the reason why I have C-stick for tilt. Well, I actually have C-stick tilt anyways for any character, but I also have jump on my trigger. You could do something called an attack cancel bear, which is fantastic because you could instantly bear out of a dash attack, out of shield. If I do it correctly, you could also do it out of shield. Stuff like that. It's great. And so if you want to learn how to attack cancel bear, I'm sure there are tutorials out there. I'm not here to teach that, but it's very useful. It is very, very, very useful for DK especially. So you can like instantly bear. You need to space this well. If you space it well, you could poke shield, and it's usually very, very safe. In my opinion, one of DK's best moves. And of course, his true best move is his grab. Yes, I didn't forget to talk about grab. Grab is the last property we haven't talked about for DK. And, you know, him being a grappler, his life revolves around a lot of his grab. So like with most characters, he initially has 4 different grab throws, right? But you're really not gonna use, well, no, you might use some of them. You might use some of the other grabs. Let's talk about the other ones first. This up throw, blech, yuck. You never want to see that. You never want to see up throw. You never want to see down throw either. Never. There's never a use case to ever use up or down throw. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Okay? You do this, it's clearly a misinput. I've done that so many times as a misinput, and every time it hurts. Because you can get a grab with DK, because remember, DK's fat, he gets juggled, he gets spaced really easy. If you could get in, condition someone to shield it off, get a grab, you're looking good, because you could do a lot off of DK grabs. Back throw, you can justify. Back throw is a kill throw. If you're on the ledge and they're not suspecting and they think, oh, they're just gonna cargo throw me, you could just back throw and they will kill. It will kill a lot of characters on the side. Other than that, forward throw is your go-to. That's the cargo throw. You grab, then you press forward, now they're in your back. Now you belong to me, Palutena. You know? And you could do a lot of stuff. You could do the moonwalk if you want. Just to BM on them, you know what I'm saying? But there are now 4 different throws once you grab. There's the forward throw, there's the down throw, and there's the back throw. No, and then of course the most important, the up throw. Okay, they're all different. They all actually are useful in different ways. Let's talk about the less important ones first. What's up, Philip Rap? Sending love from Taiwan. I forgot you're in Taiwan. Dang, dude. Have fun, have fun. Why are you here? What time is it in Taiwan? There's still in the training room? I am still in the training room. So love from Temple City. Sounds good. So close by. Okay, so forward throw, really good option for killing. It's actually the go-to kill option for killing. The reason I don't go for it a lot, I'll explain later. But if you grab someone, let's see if I could go towards the ledge. Look at this, looks so silly. Oh no. Okay, I'm dead. I didn't see there was a ledge there. Okay. Usually if you're on the ledge with this, you want to jump and then just forward throw. And do you see how far that launched her? Most of the time it will kill the Palutena. Sends them all the way to the blast zone. Very strong move. Alternatively, if you want more vertical throw, you want to go for back throw. So if I manage to grab someone on this platform, or they're high enough percent that I could literally just take them all the way up. You could do this. Then you do a jump and back throw. It'll launch them really high. And you could kill them from the top blast zone. So that's a really good use of back throw. Down throw, I like down throw over forward throw because in the scenario that they mash out or they don't get the kill, you could actually get people into a really disadvantaged state. You see me doing this a lot if you played me a lot. See if I could somewhat pull it off here. So I like to just run off and just down throw. The nice thing about down throw, if people didn't notice, if you do down throw someone, it does pop Donkey Kong up a little bit. So you don't actually keep falling down and lose your momentum. Like if I did a forward throw off the stage without jumping, if I did like this, I'm dead because I kept falling down. So there's no way for me to recover at this point. But if you down throw, he pops them up, you could still recover. And even if they manage to survive, the down throw, okay, now she's just bouncing back on stage. Even if they manage to survive the down throw, they still will be in a horrible position. For some characters like Cloud, Roy, Chrom, there's a ton of, like Pyramithra as well. If you could grab them, and you do that strat where you run off down throw, they just cannot recover because the recover is so bad. You put them in the down and out angle from the stage, they cannot recover. So if I do this, and I do that to a Pyra or Mithra or anyone with like a subpar recovery, they will not be able to get back at all. And that's fantastic. Sometimes you can just bait shield, grab here, run off, down throw, they're dead. As low as 60 to 70%, especially if they don't mash. If you know they don't mash, you could go even further. This is a trick for people who play against others in real life. When I'm playing next to someone and I get a grab, I listen to see if they're mashing. Because if they're not mashing, you could go way further. You could go all the way to the blast zone if you want. But if they're mashing, you best believe they're gonna pop out. And if you do this strategy where you run off stage and you try to down throw them, let's see if Paladin, okay, well, she didn't break out. But if they do manage to break out, they will usually footstool you because they're mashing jump, and then you're instantly dead. So you have to be a little bit careful with that. You don't want to go too far, don't get too greedy. Up throw is your bread and butter ding dong combo. So you do the cargo throw them up, jump, up air. You could also do a lot of the other aerials, they work. Well, now she's high enough percent, but I like to actually go for nair. I know that's not a very common thing, but you should go nair into up air. If they DI backwards, which she's not doing, then you can go for back air. Well, I kind of drifted too far forward. And so that's like the usual normal case of ding-donging. Oh, look. You could also do skill check with the grab, by the way. You could do it. You could do the cheeky thing and do that, the skill check. You could also do a slide off and then down throw. I'm kind of getting distracted from the ding-dong lesson, but like that, something like that. Obviously, she's low enough percent. It doesn't matter. They could usually tech it. I don't know if it's ever untechable like at higher percents, but usually they'll be able to tech it. So you want to be a little bit careful. For that reason, I don't particularly like Kalos because they have the flat sides and you can't cheese people. There's a few variations for doing the ding dong. You could do just the grounded up throw and then just go for the up air. You could also go for grounded quick double jump up air instead of just a single hop. And then you could also go for the jump up throw jump up air. Now, in order of efficacy in terms of like distance, you usually want to go for the jump up throw double jump up air or aerial move if they're lower mid percent, because if they're too high percent, it stops working because you don't have enough distance. Whereas if you go for this one, actually hold on, I need a platform for this. There's a platform, you wanna do it like that, where you jump and then right before you land, you throw up throw because there's no end lag. Then you could quickly do a double jump up air. Like that. And so there is a chart somewhere online that actually shows the sweet spot where you can kill people with the ding dong off a platform, and obviously off of the second platform on Battlefield. But most stages don't have this, and a lot of people won't even let you go to Battlefield for this reason. Most people will ban Battlefield against DK if they're aware. But on most other stages, depending on the ceiling height, there are specific ranges in which you can do this move, and it will kill. See, like there, see that? I mean, that wasn't true because I kind of messed up, but it would have killed on FD Battlefield. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm sure I missed a lot of stuff, but I think that's good for now. I didn't even go into combos and stuff. I just wanted to talk about DK as a character and the move properties. But there's a lot of combos and stuff that you could do. Most of it is ding dong combos, dash attack combos, stringing with back airs and stuff like that. There's a lot of other cool things that you can do though. But that's like the essence of DK for now. In terms of being in disadvantaged state, right? Being in disadvantage sucks with DK because he doesn't have great aerial mobility. He's really fat. He gets hit by everything. He gets comboed. I already complained about all this, right? But you need to know how to recover, okay? Your second jump, just like with most characters, your second jump is a treasure. It's a national treasure. You got to make sure you save it for the right moment. If you burn your double jump, a very common noob mistake is every time you get hit, double jump right away out of it. A lot of people like to do this, like that. And if you're that DK and you get slapped again off stage without your double jump, you are easy pickings because you're up B, remember? Very easy to hit from above. So you gotta be very smart with your double jump. You can go very smart with your air dodges. But when you're above someone, you're struggling to get down. It's really tempting to just go for down airs, forward airs. Back air is not gonna do really good because it hits more horizontally. Up air is gonna do absolutely nothing. You could also kind of go for an air, but if they know you're doing that, they're gonna shield punish you very easily, okay? So what you really need to do is just focus on getting down. Bait people with your double jump. Bait people with your momentum shift with this. You could also go for like up B stalls and stuff like that. I mean, you don't really want to go for that. That's not a great option. But if you've watched me for a considerable amount of time or played against me, you know I try to be tricky with my recoveries. You know I try to be tricky when I'm above people and I'm trying to get back on stage. Because that's really the only thing that's going to keep you alive. DK with rage though, you're farming rage a lot. If you have like 150% with DK, you could blow people up. You could kill people early with Ding Dong. And if you don't do that, you could still blow people up just the normal way. Like she's already at kill percent right now because she's only at 62%. I'm at 281. Obviously, I wouldn't be normally at 281. A good player would try to kill me right now. But if you play conservatively and you bide your time, even if I just get a grab or something off the ledge, she might be dead. And that's the art of DK. High risk, high reward. And that's the fun of him. Let me show this. Look at this Lego DK, man. It's so cute. Got the little toes too. You can make him stand up. Thanks, Shafty. Yeah, he has a whole hut over here too, you know? Boom. Came with a little banana too. Look at this banana. Oh, and then also, I completely forgot the most important thing. If you're playing any DK Ditto, you have to full charge and then down taunt. It is an unwritten rule. If you do not do it, shame on you. Shame on you.